Alright, good day folks. I'm here to bring you an update on VeChain. With VeChain correcting and the market as a whole having dipped quite a bit today, I'm going to run through some technical analysis, talk about what I see happening, both short term and long term. So if you like the sound of that, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Because folks, we've been killing it in terms of calling support and resistance, major breakouts, price targets. I was ringing the alarm bells here at 355 saying VeChain had broken out bullishly. If you'd been following us and if you got in there, you could have been up over 30% even still after this massive dip we've had with VeChain. So folks, like I said, do yourself a favor, do me a favor, and like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. So right now, we seem to be finding support on the 100 EMA on the 6 hour. Let's take a look at our indicators to try to understand and get a sense of what VeChain looks like now after this correction. So let's look at the daily. Let's start to look at the daily here. This actually looks extremely bearish, folks. We might have a bearish crossover on the daily MACD. If that happens, I would expect probably that we're going to get extended we're going to enter some kind of extended correction / consolidation phase, which again, folks, like we may have further short-term correcting here, but I don't think anything long-term has changed. I still think we're in a bull market that's likely to end many, many months from now. And VeChain is a project with one of the strongest fundamentals I've seen in this space, with real-world partners, real-world use case already being implemented. It's the leader in its niche. So ultimately, while we're going to go through this some more, and I do see sometimes some signs of some weakness, I don't think anything long-term has changed. And in me as a long-term investor, I am not the least bit worried. But let's keep looking at our indicators and get a further sense of what's going on. So take a look at the 12. So yeah, so 12, we had a bearish crossover on the MACD. Everything's on the way down on the 12. Let's take a look at the 6. Yeah, 6 hour bearish crossover, although bullish crossover on the stochastic RSI on the 6, which is the only bullish thing I see on the 6. 4 hour, yeah, 4 hour, yeah, even the stochastic's going down. Everything's going down on the 4. So another thing, folks, we're nearing the oversold regions on some like the mid-hourly time frame. So, I mean, dips are for buying, folks. Just saying. So, okay, so on the 3 is where we're starting to see the first signs of some strength here. MACD starting to tick up. Weighted MACD starting to curve up. Looks like it might want to have a bullish crossover at some point. Stochastic RSI oversold, bullish crossover on the way up. RSI oversold on the way up. Take a look at the 2 hour, same story. Higher highs and higher lows on the RSI in the oversold region. Haven't touched the oversold region. Stochastic on the way up. Weighted MACD seems like it wants to have a bullish crossover very soon. 1 hour looks bullish. We might have a bullish crossover on the MACD. So ultimately, let's summarize here. Larger time frames look bearish. Shorter time frames, we're starting to see some signs of some strength. So what does this translate into? Well, I think in the short term, we're going to keep going up a bit here, and I think we're going to retest some previous support levels, now turn resistance, like the 50 EMA on the 6 hour, for example. I think if we go back up here and we start to get rejected off this red slanted resistance line or our EMA here, we're probably in store for that further leg down. And if we can continue to correct over the next few hours and days, I think that's going to lead to the bearish crossover on the daily MACD, which could lead to extended, and when I say extended, I mean the next few like days and like few weeks here of like week or two of correcting. Again, over the long term, I don't think anything has changed to make this market less fundamentally bullish. This market, in fact, is the strongest I've ever seen it. Another thing, too, as well, folks, you want to be greedy when people are fearful and fearful when people are greedy. You don't want to chase pumps. You want to be buying into something when it's crashing, there's no hype behind it, no one wants to touch it, and the sky is falling, because that's when the highest return on investment potential is. You don't want to buy the top, you want to buy the dips. Dips are for buying in a bull market, and I do believe we're in a bull market. I do believe VeChain has one of the strongest fundamental use cases. For those who don't know, VeChain aims to improve supply chains and logistics through tracking on the blockchain through QR codes and literally just tracking through logistics. Okay, this is trying to solve a multi-billion-dollar problem. It already has real-world partnerships, BMW, Walmart, China. It's the leader in its niche. So I'm extremely bullish over the long-term future of VeChain. That's why I find it, to be honest, funny when people are panicking and panic selling, because look, if you're a short-term trader or investor, then fine, you do you. I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are not financial advice. If you need to take profits or move in a stable coin, do what's best for yourself. I'm not selling Dickie McGee's Axe, okay, because I'm very bullish on VeChain long-term. Now, where I would start to get concerned about VeChain no longer being short-term bullish would be if we fall below the 200 EMA here on the 6 hour. Because if we look back, last time we pumped and dumped, found support there, pump, dump, found support there. So the 200 EMA on the 6 hour is currently near the original breakout zone from the ascending triangle that we were in, which is around 355, 36 really. So I'd say from 36 to kind of 38 is going to be a strong support level for VeChain. If we fell back down that low, I think I would personally consider that the blessing of a lifetime. And to know whether we're going to fall back down that low, I think hovering on the 6 hour is quite perfect, because we're in between strong resistance from these levels and strong support from these levels. Okay, so I think we're kind of just going to be range bound between these two EMAs until we break out. Whatever way we break out between these two EMAs, I think is going to be very telling for future price action in the short term for VeChain. If we break down below this EMA, I think we're going to fall back down and retest the 200 EMA on the 6 hour. I think that's going to hold as very strong support. That is where I would be looking to accumulate. That is where I would be placing my buy orders if I were so inclined to do so. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. You do what's best for yourself. These videos are not financial advice. But if we start to fall below the 200 EMA on the 6 hour, I would start to be worried that VeChain is no longer short-term bullish. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts with VeChain in terms of pullback targets. Now, if and when we can tackle 6 cents and hold 6 cents, I think that next impulse takes us to 8 cents, whenever that may be, whether it's a week from now, a month from now, a quarter from now. I think it's just a matter of time, to be honest with you. I think the more time goes on, the more likely it is that VeChain will tackle its all-time highs and vastly surpass it. My bull run price predictions are 50 cents to $1 at the peak of this bull run for VeChain. I do not know that for sure. Nobody knows for sure how high these coins are going to go. That's why I'm going to be looking to scale out more so based off time frames and less so based off specific price targets. I think this bull run is likely to reach its peak with Bitcoin September, October, and VeChain and the altcoins are likely to reach their peak roughly a month after Bitcoin, because that's kind of what happened last cycle. So I think something similar could happen this cycle. And I think Bitcoin has a good chance of reaching its peak September, October this year because of a chart by Trading Shot, who did a good job breaking down the Bitcoin cycle. So Bitcoin moves in 4-year cycles because of the halvings. It's the thing that runs the entire market. That's why Bitcoin, that's why the market has these boom and bust cycles. It's all because of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin halvings. So according to that chart, the next top is supposed to be late September this year, and so that's why I think I'm going to be looking to scale out September, October, late third quarter, early fourth quarter is when I'll start selling out slowly over time. That's just what I'm doing. You guys do you as well. I think another interesting chart to look at to try and understand hidden potential bullish and bearish divergence on VeChain and hidden support and resistance levels is the VeChain Bitcoin pair. Most people trade the US dollar pairs and the Tether pairs, but there are some people that trade the VeChain Bitcoin pairs, and I do think this has an effect on the US dollar pairing. Okay, we're currently getting rejected off some levels here, and I think we're going to fall back down and retest this green support line. If we can fall back down, retest this green support line and hold this as support, I think that is going to be a factor that helps to stop the bleeding for the US dollar price. If we can get above these key red resistance lines on the VeChain Bitcoin pair and start to break out bullishly from these red resistance lines, I think that's going to be a bullish catalyst to propel the US dollar value. And another thing as well, we need to keep our eye out for the Bitcoin dominance chart. This is an extremely good chart to look at to gauge what the altcoins are going to do. Whenever it rises, altcoins typically suffer. Whenever it falls, altcoins typically benefit. For those who don't know, Bitcoin dominance is the total value of Bitcoin in comparison to the total value of all cryptocurrency. Okay, we're currently finding support at a very, very predictable range here. If we see Bitcoin dominance continue to rally, that should tell you that's going to place the dampers further on the altcoins. If we see Bitcoin dominance start to fall, that should tell you that's going to it's going to put gas in the tank of the altcoins to keep pumping further. So very interesting chart to look at. And as well, we always need to follow Bitcoin and Ethereum. Whatever they do will have an effect on the rest of the market because they tanked. It's obviously having an effect on VeChain. And I think Bitcoin dumping has to do with F2 pool, which is one of the largest Bitcoin mining pools, selling one of the largest amounts of Bitcoin they have in a while. So fuck F2 pool. Don't use them and don't support them in any way if any of you happen to be miners for Bitcoin. So yeah, folks, those are my thoughts with VeChain. If anything interesting further happens, we will definitely be talking about it on this channel and in our Discord group. Links to join our Discord will be down in the description below as well. If you like what we do, you want to support us, consider joining our Patreon. You get access to our VIP Discord group, our low cap gems, interesting setups and catalysts that we're looking at. Again, link through that will be down in the description below. Patreon, that gets access to the VIP Discord. We will also be giving away a hardware wallet randomly to one of the first 100 Patreon members. So consider supporting us, folks. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate anyone who supports us in whatever way they do. Thank you for watching. Take care.